What's up, folks? We're back. You're probably wondering why it's just me. You're probably wondering why Wes is not here, well, I'll tell you why. The fans were asking, they said the audio quality is too damn good. We want a Zoom podcast, and we're going to give it to you.
We're going remote.
Wes is in his childhood home. You can see his accolades on the wall.
I'm on location. Welcome to my abode, my humble abode. I've got my accomplishments hanging on the walls around me. It's just a whole lot of me. It's a whole lot of me. And living it up in the Bluffs.
You
Small town life.
Reached your dream of being like a Zoom podcast fantasy football analyst guy in his little dungeon with his little setup behind him. You've peaked.
I've reached my full evolution. I'm there.
You've broken out of the chrysalis, out of the cocoon, and become the butterfly that you always wanted to be.
I really have.
Yeah.
Feels great.
Looks good on you.
I'm hanging out at home, hanging out with the parents. It was my dad's 60th birthday a few days ago, so I've been playing a ton of golf. Just living the small town life, hitting the golf course, just really living my best life.
You're burying the lead. Folks, Wes Buehler hit a hole-in-one. He golfed the ball, and in one single stroke, he hit it from the tee into the hole. Give me the full rundown.
Didn't even need a bounce. Flew it in on the fly, slam dunk. It was Mount Sterling, Illinois, number 12, just under 150 yards. That day it was like 148, 149. It's a super thin but long green. Pin was left. Sets up perfect for your boy's draw. Nice little tight draw right to the pin. 9-iron, flew it in. No bounce, just jammed the stick right in.
You stuck it, Mike.
I stuck it. It was probably the best day of my dad's life. I was playing with him and my cousin. We went nuts on the tee box. You didn't have to walk up. You knew from the tee that it was in. We had been, so I said it was on hole 12. We had been kind of pushing the group in front of us. We were a group of 3 and there was a group of 4 in front of us. We'd been pushing them as in waiting to hit. They were playing a little slower because they had a group of 4. So on 12, they let us play through. They went ahead and hit their tee shots. And then 12's kind of a hill-to-hill shot. So you have to drive like down a hill and drive up the other side. So they were waiting after they had already hit their tee shots up on a bank that is beside the 12th green. So they watched the ball fly in and watched the hole-in-one as they played through. And so there's people several holes away that heard the commotion. So it was 7, 8, they might have had one other 8 people that erupted when it went in.
Wow.
It was good stuff.
Any type of sellies going on at night?
No, it was none great. We had to get up and go golfing again. Are you nuts?
Yeah. Grind don't sleep.
It does not sleep.
How many holes of golf have you played since you've been back in your hometown?
I got here. My dad's birthday is it was the 21st. So I'm gonna be here for like 2 weeks. A lot. 18, 6, at least 5 rounds. So at least 90 holes of golf. Probably
that's honestly light compared to what I would have guessed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working from home during the day through the week, so I might play 9 like in the evening before it gets dark. But yeah, mostly just weekends. There's a big weekend.
Your dad just pissed you won't play hooky from work and go golf with him?
Yeah, he's like, dude, I'm
who
bored.
Gives a shit? Just do it on your phone or whatever.
Yeah, no, he's so I'll go play 9 or so with him after I get stuff done that I need to. But mostly just weekends. Another weekend of golf this weekend before I head back to Chicago. But yeah, so it'll be probably 6, 7, 8 rounds in 2.5 weeks or so. So as I said, living my best life, as good as it gets. Small town living.
In his element, folks. In his element.
Yeah.
Quick golf talk. Tour championship. Who you got?
So I run with our golf group. I run a one and done pool where we pick one golfer each week, and then you can't use them for the rest of the year. And it goes from the Tournament of Champions until last week, because this week's a very short field, so we're not playing this week. So I haven't even looked at any of the odds, any of the. I can't even remember where the venue is. I'm not sure. Oh, it's in Atlanta. I would have to look who starts with a lead. So instead of everyone
Finau starts with the lead. I think Cantlake has up there.
Bryson's
I think
up
Finau
there.
starts in second. I don't know who starts in first. I'd have to look it up.
We should have told me beforehand.
Yeah, I just thought of it right now.
Tour Championship. I will go with. I'll go Cantlay. Stay hot, baby. Stay hot.
Patty.
Have you heard any golf talk recently and followed any of the Bryson, any of that stuff today?
No, is he being a fool?
So the PGA Tour commissioner today came out and said that the Brooksy, yelling out Brooksy at him is over at events. You're out if you yell it out. So he's full out on any heckling of Bryson now. I don't know. It's kind of Cantlay had a pretty good quote or a pretty good interview after the round because he played in the most recent event, a playoff with him. So he was with him the entire day and then for some playoff holes. And he said it's kind of when you draw that much attention to yourself, you're going to get a lot of good, but it's going to be negative, even if it is a small amount. And those people are going to be vocal too. And you got to deal with it. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a little soft complaining about people yelling out, but I'm sure it does get old. I mean, I'm sure it's a pain in the ass.
That guy stinks.
Whatever. Yeah.
I don't know anything about golf. He's annoying.
Yeah, he is. He's just so unaware, it seems like. I don't know.
He's a dweeb.
Yeah.
Anyway, not here to talk golf.
Are you sure? We can
keep
going
do
golf,
a full pod. You don't even know who's playing, basically. You're the golf guy.
Yeah, I did.
I could hit you with some buzzwords. Freaking this fucking strokes per gain ranks. He's looking good around the green. Off the tee, he's 144th. So
he's hitting it. He's hitting it off the tee.
Ball striking, putting, is getting up and down. A lot of
if you want a guy that's hitting it, I got a guy.
Yeah. A few odds and ends before we get into meat and potatoes. We're going to be talking Jake Paul and college football today. Those are going to be the two main orders of business.
Just
should have mentioned that at the top, maybe. Bishop Sycamore. For those that don't know, there was a fake high school, basically, that played somehow on ESPN against IMG, which is noteworthy, renowned prep school.
Prep school, yeah, in Florida.
Yeah, it's a real place. And somehow this fake school that seemingly had a bunch of 28-year-olds on their team got put in a game on ESPN.
It's not real.
The coach got fired like today or yesterday, I think. It's like the third time he's done this. There's been like two other iterations of this school, and he just keeps doing it.
What's the payoff there?
That's what I don't understand. As much as I've dug and looked into it, I don't understand who gains anything from doing this. So this coach has basically made this fake school where he gets fake players. And the reason they got this whole ESPN deal, I guess, was they faked some website and he lied that there was a bunch of coaches coming to watch their practices and stuff.
Right. You said
that there's nowhere you can find a roster for their team or any sort of game history.
Right. Yeah,
I don't understand how ESPN's like, of all the teams we could schedule, we're like, these guys are probably, this would be okay.
Right. So they got IMG to
they played them twice, actually, I found out. Which is unbelievable. How did they not? I don't know the first time what was going on there.
Right. So they were selling themselves as like, we have these big time recruits. We have all these 5-star, 4-star players that have big time Division I offers. We got a bunch of coaches coming. So you're right. Get us on ESPN. And then, but then after that, I just don't get it. Like that's the thing. It's not, you're not lying to get more
eyes on recruits, they've got fake players. They've got 26-year-old
like
players.
30.
And if you're these players, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing?
Why do you want to play football with high schoolers?
Coach,
and on top of it, they got fucking smoked by the high school. They got ran
murdered
off the field.
Coach, I have kids. Why can't? What are we doing here?
It's like, I've got a down payment on a house. I can't play high school football and get smoked by a bunch of 17-year-olds. I mean, that's so demoralizing.
I wonder if it's like those guys that are like, boy, if that knee injury, I would have made it if I didn't.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, we all know that one guy's like, oh, I'd give anything to strap it on one more time on a Friday night.
Give me those lights, baby. Give me those lights, baby.
That shit's hurt.
Pass.
No, you can keep that. That's okay.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, and then just get absolutely.
I love that. These 27-year-olds
teenagers
hyped to play, and these teenagers are just dogging them, just absolutely clowning them.
Because they're actually like
they're all going to be
like,
Division I football players.
Yeah,
these guys
IMG
all wish they would have been Division I football players.
Oh, that's like a sketch. It's like a.
I mean, it's so strange. Look it up, Bishop Sycamore.
Please.
An equally strange story. Well, I'll do this one really quick. Did you see this guy on Twitter that went on a flight and he said he had a long layover and in his bag? So he's going up to the checkout TSA. He's got his bag and the guy's like, "What is this? What is in there?" He takes it out. He has got an entire roasted chicken in a garbage bag that he brought with him. He's like, "It's gonna be a long layover. I need something to eat.
I'm gonna huddle up and house this."
What a move! He brought a whole roasted chicken with him.
They let him, right? Didn't they leave it? They just like.
I think so. This is what you dig into that thread. He brought like cornbread and he brought like sides too. It was unbelievable. He was so prepared. And then the other thing was that he tweeted that he's like, "They won't let me bring my chicken in." And then he tweets later like, "Oh man, for some reason this blew up. Just got off the flight." He's like, "I don't know. I'm just tweeting it out, letting people know they were stealing my chicken." All-time move by that guy. I'll try to link the tweet if I remember it, but kudos to that guy for bringing a whole chicken with him to the airport. Another story, another weird one. Have you seen that J.R. Smith is going back to college?
How is he able to do this? I don't get it.
I don't either. I mean, I understand where he's going to college, but he's playing golf collegiately at North Carolina A&T. I don't understand how that works. I mean, he never
play a difference.
Yeah, he never went to college. He went straight out of high school, so I don't know how that works. And he never got paid to play golf. I don't know.
Yeah.
And also, this is another the NCAA stupid. Who gives a shit if he just let him play? It rules. But his tweets about him going to class are like,
he says this
all the time.
I saw him
so good.
This is why I hated high school so much, because the schoolwork or something. I remember him talking about that.
Yeah, he said I hated school growing up, not going to discourage me 1 second. He said, "Man, I've been eating junk food my whole life. Now I got to quit because I've been learning about nutrition in my nutrition class."
Yeah, I forgot he has to be a student too, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's more the goal is to get the degree. He says he's like, this is so funny to me. He's like, "Can anyone explain to me why it would be a good idea to join a frat?" To be honest, it doesn't really make any sense to me. I'm supposed to join a group and call them my brothers after they treat me like shit and make me do stupid shit? How does that work? You got it, JR.
Hard agree. I mean,
you cracked the code. Don't do it. You figured it out.
Yeah.
Way to go, buddy. No excuses. So disappointed in myself after this first week. What happened that went so poorly that syllabus week, JR's getting bundled by these teachers. He just can't.
Oh, JR. Yeah, syllabus week. You get a sheet of paper and bail.
What could have possibly happened that you would be disappointed after the 1 week? You'd have to really blow something. I really have to learn how to do a better job taking notes. For some reason, I have a hard time knowing what's important information. To me, it all seems important. This is like the most relatable Twitter shit ever, I'd say.
Yeah.
I love too that it's like you went straight out of high school. So it's like he basically never went to school in his life. Because I'd imagine in high school, he didn't have to do anything. I mean, he was a McDonald's All-American from the time he was 14 years old.
Correct.
He was going to be an NBA player from the time he was very young. So his teachers were probably like, whatever, doesn't matter. So it's fascinating. Shout out to J.R. Smith. And then his most recent tweet, is it natural to want to switch majors?
So relatable. JR's.
Oh, but I love that it's like
he's
condensed
just one of
into
us.
1 week. Yeah. Love J.R. Smith. Always have loved J.R. Smith.
He's pretty
Keep
good at golf.
you.
I know he really loves golf, and I think he's pretty good. So shout out, kill it for I'm not sure their mascot, but rip it
I
up.
want to say Aggies. That's pretty generic. I think NC A&T isn't that like agriculture and something? It's probably the Aggies. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Go low, JR. Rip it up, baby.
Yeah, rip it up. Okay. Main event of the evening. Jake Paul fight. Jake Paul fought semi-retired UFC former champion.
He was cut from the UFC. He was released from UFC.
Oh, I did not realize he was released. Okay, so basically retired
former welterweight
champion.
Yeah.
Former champion Tyron Woodley. They fought, they boxed, and Jake Paul's newest escapade into the sweet science. And Jake Paul won by decision, unfortunately, for everyone that bought a pay-per-view or allegedly illegally streamed the fight.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the other fights? I just tuned in for this one.
No,
I didn't.
I watched the very end of the fight before. That girl was getting her absolute ass kicked.
Yeah. I saw some of that too as I was bouncing back and forth.
A lot of people saying she's tough. That means you're getting the shit kicked out of you.
You're so good at getting punched in the face.
Never want to hear that you've got heart as a fighter. That means you're good at getting repetitively battered.
This guy will really bite down on the mouthpiece and just wear some punches to the face. What a champ.
Yeah, not good. But anyway, Jake Paul fight. I mean,
I'll start. Tyron Woodley is, for those that don't know, is a very good wrestler. Went to Mizzou. I'm not sure of his accomplishments there, if he was a national champion or not, but very, very good wrestler from Mizzou. Welterweight champion in the UFC, and real lack of striking ability. He really used it to set up wrestling, wings kind of big bombs to get to a takedown more so.
He has knocked people out in the UFC though, unlike Ben Askren. He's
correct.
Doesn't have zero. I mean, he's got more stand up than everyone has more stand up game than Ben Askren.
Right.
But you're not fighting a tomato can like Ben Askren.
For sure a threat on the feet with the hands. But in the UFC, he used wrestling, ground and pound for the most part, and played off of that. So Jake Paul definitely strategically picked him because he's not known as a striker. And it was odd. Early on, he just really kind of stood there and felt him out, I suppose is what he was trying to do, but had a tough time throughout the fight letting his hands go. He did, in my opinion, had probably the best moment of the fight, like the biggest shot landed and kind of wobbled. Jake in the third round, I believe, definitely won the round. And a lot of people, especially those that wanted him to lose, probably played into it on Twitter, thought he was in trouble. Looked a little tired after he took the shot.
Yeah, I thought around then he looked like I thought it was over. I mean, he looked done. I couldn't believe he hit a second wind.
Pivotal fourth round, got his feet back under him. The cardio looked better, and pretty much dominated the rest of the fight. I would say one of the scorecards had Woodley winning, which is laughable. I mean, I just can't.
I saw an unbelievable amount of people on Twitter that thought it was crazy that Jake Paul won. And I'm like, were you not watching? Did you not understand that the person that punches the other guy more is typically deemed the winner of the fight?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that were like adamantly like, you guys are Jake Paul dick riders. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
We hate this guy.
I hope he dies. I just wish he would combust in the middle of the ring.
So I saw it probably either 6-2 or 5 rounds to 3 to Jake Paul. what would you make of the fight?
I mean, it was, so this is where we're at with this whole Jake Paul thing, is that he's like pretty good, but he's not good as terms of a professional boxer good. So it's just
Right.
like he's too bad, and the guys he's fighting are too good for it to be entertaining, really, for how
Yeah.
bad it is. And neither of them are good enough for it to be entertaining for how good the fight is. So it's just like the
This
only
was
reason I'm watching is crossing my fingers and praying Jake Paul gets knocked out. The boxing itself is bad and not good. It's like Jake Paul's like good for an amateur boxer. Like here, like who's he fight now is the thing that I have about this. Like it was just wildly unentertaining. It was frustrating as hell to see Woodley seem like so gun shy and like
he was
treated. I mean, he treated Jake Paul like he was Mike fucking Tyson with his power.
yeah,
I mean, he looked
showed
terrified to get hit.
a ton of
I mean,
respect for
of all the guys that he's fought in his life, this is the guy whose power you're like super respectful. I mean, he's fought
towards the back end
murderers.
towards the back end of Woodley's
you're right.
career, he did kind of develop that. It was weird. He used to be pretty aggressive and would get into, I don't say firefights, but would at least take one to get in close to grapple and set up his game more. But towards the end, he had lost. I think he'd lost 3 or 4 fights in a row, and convincingly, like every round, like hadn't won a round in like 3-4 years. Like it had gotten pretty bad, and that's why he got cut. He was just no longer in the tier of fighters that he wanted to fight, and just didn't want to fight didn't want to be a gatekeeper in the UFC. But he did, to me, show enough. I guess Jake didn't show enough to say that he was ready to take a next step. He was competitive enough in the fight to where I'm not totally convinced that Jake Paul is ready to take a step up in competition, and he is like in a weird
it's
middle
like
ground of like
no
you're not ready to fight someone of your size that is a professional boxer that has experience under their belt. I don't know how well that would go for Jake Paul. He does look the part. His technique, for very very little that I know, he looks like a boxer in there. He's very good for an amateur, and he's put a ton of time in, and that is evident. He was much better than Woodley, but he's in a weird middle ground where I'm not sure if he's ready to move up and take a significantly tougher fight.
So here's the other wrinkle to this, is that I had assumed there's no shot in hell that Dana is going to let any active UFC fighter box Jake Paul.
No, I mean, people think,
and that basically takes out his entire roster of guys that Jake Paul would fight next that would have any sort of cachet, I would think. Like the only, like I can't think of anyone else that would be willing to do this, and also a big enough name that would move tickets that he would fight. Like I don't really know who's left. Like the only guys that
I think KSI is the move.
What? Is that not a step down?
In competition, but in ticket sales and revenue,
I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, people will watch it, but like
that's the money move. Like he beat his brother. It's like they hate each other, like actually hate each other. That would be the move as far as like revenue, pay-per-view buys and buzz. Like it would be the internet fight to end all internet fights. Like
but he would just absolutely smash it. No. Jake Paul's a good boxer.
He's significantly better in my opinion.
KSI is not a better fighter than Tyron Woodley, I would assume.
Right. I would say that he would be heavily favored.
And he's much bigger than KSI, or no?
No, I would say
taller, probably. No,
he's probably a little taller. KSI fought his brother Logan's
bigger than Jake, I think. So.
Yeah, and it wasn't KSI, if I had to guess without looking, 5'10-ish, 5'11", and thick, and probably 180. I don't know what he fought at. I don't know. But he wouldn't be a significant size disadvantage. But here's the thing: you could either do that fight that would sell like crazy and be one of the biggest internet spectacles in the last 5 years. As I can remember, or he could fight a low-level professional fighter who would be an interesting fight that no one would care about. Like I don't know if that moves the needle for anyone either. So I don't know. And then you still, I assume that he would beat KSI. I don't know. that wouldn't leave me with any more confidence in Jake. Like it would be a step down in competition to make some money. I don't know. I don't know where that would leave him either. But that would be the fight to make. I don't care if he fights some no name professional that's like on his way up too.
So, I mean, we're at the pivotal point. We'll see. Does he want to do this for the fame, or does he want to be a boxer? He keeps saying, I want to be a boxer. I want to be a pro. This is what I do. You fighting KSI does not show me you want to be a boxer. That shows me that you want to be up tomato cans.
To be fair, this is pretty common in the fight game, like especially boxing. Like these dudes will show up with these undefeated fights, like 25-0. Like on the way up, you pound on some tomato cans. Like it's not that uncommon to be like 10, 12, 15-0 and really have fought nobody. Like that's pretty common.
But Jake Paul is different because he's kind of skipped. He's skipped all. He's already a main event headline.
But his skill hasn't. His skill hasn't. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's why he's in this weird limbo.
Yes.
Like he can't fight main event fighters because he'll get absolutely fucking pounded. So I mean, yeah, there's so many UFC guys that I would like to see him fight. Like him and Nate Diaz would be fucking incredible.
Nate Diaz would kill that kid.
Yeah, it would be so awesome.
He would
to watch Nate Diaz just absolutely turn his face into a fucking punching bag. Oh.
Yeah, he would break the will, I think. That would be ugly.
Oh god, the lead up would be so great, and he would.
People want to see him fight. People want to see him fight Conor McGregor. He's like 50 pounds heavier than Conor McGregor. Conor's like 5'6" or some shit. I don't think that would work. I would watch it.
Logan fought Floyd.
True, that's true. That's true. That it would be similar to that, probably. I mean,
man, that would be a weird fight to watch.
That would be weird.
Oh, imagine Conor McGregor got knocked out by Jake Paul. Oh my god.
We're living in a simulation. Yeah, it would break the world.
Everyone would subsequently be like, no matter who wins, they'd be like, I don't know. The other guy, the third guy that like makes sense from a lead up standpoint and from like a thing would be Jorge Masvidal to me.
He would also kill him, I think.
Agreed.
Those like any of those like welterweight or light heavyweight guys would be similar weights to Jake Paul. I think, especially ones that have strong striking acumen, would probably kill him. Not certain though. It is boxing. It is definitely different. But
I just had a thought. What if he fights Anderson Silva? Retired.
Interesting.
Legend.
Into boxing
good
now.
Striker.
He's had a few.
That's a big money fight.
I'd watch it.
Make the weights work. I would watch him fight. I mean, I would imagine. I mean, Anderson Silva's not getting touched. He's not getting touched.
Probably.
I don't know what his hands are like now. I don't know how much firepower he's got, but he's not getting touched.
Didn't he just beat like one of the Klitschko's in boxing? Like a young.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if Jake wants that either. He's in a weird spot.
I don't think
he's in a weird spot.
I don't know who he fights now.
I think KSI is going to take a fight with who just beat Bryce Hall in boxing at that YouTube thing.
The shitty family vlogger guy.
I think
KSI, play
KSI,
basketball.
I think KSI is going to fight him and beat him, and then he's going to fight Jake Paul. And it'll sell so many pay-per-views, dude. I'm telling you, it will be the internet fight to end all internet fights. I'm telling you, it'll be insane.
I mean, we're moving like swiftly to a future where just every celebrity is going to be a boxer.
Maybe.
I mean, it's going to be like Showtime, Hugh Jackman versus Ryan Reynolds, 9 rounds. Like, what are we doing?
Deadpool. Yeah.
And meanwhile, we got like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's like, guys, what about us? We're good at boxing.
Yeah. Who cares?
Boo! You stink.
Yeah.
I want to see Jessica Alba fight Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. If you thought boxing was in a bad place before, I don't think Jake Paul's going to save it. I think he's going to tank it, but maybe not. I mean, people are watching, I guess. Nobody's watching the actual boxing. They're just watching the YouTuber boxing.
I just saw a headline. I don't know if this is true. I know everyone hates him. sources say that he did take less money for this fight and doled it out to the undercard to pay them as more than any undercard's ever been paid.
I heard that too. If that's true, good for him.
Cool. Props. Cool. Don't know if it's true. Just read a headline. Don't know if it's true
I heard he said that.
So
maybe it's true. I don't know. Yeah. Jake Paul, notably good stand-up dude. Not. You got anything else on this?
I hope. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the big fights. I hope this brings more. These guys got to start fighting each other is the problem too.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Like
the fights are wildly.
There's 100 belts, and everyone just tiptoes and dance around these other good fighters to fight each other. Like that's the one thing that the UFC is just steamrolling boxing on, is they have excellent fights every single month. Like big time. You're next, fight him.
Yeah, the trade-off is the fighters get fucked over that aren't the big names because they make no money whatsoever in comparison to their probably market value.
Yeah.
So it's because that's why the boxers never do it, because they're making hand over fist as opposed to what they would make if they were a union. Well, I guess the UFC doesn't have a union, but they were, all under one umbrella.
Yeah. I just wish there was a better.
It sucks.
I want to see the good guys fight the other good guys.
I say they have the UFC just, actually pay the fighters, and then have a similar thing in boxing. You just actually pay them what they're worth. Hot take.
I don't know if that could work.
UFC, you got a fuckload of money. Just give some of it to the guys that are turning their brains into oatmeal every week. Nope.
Oh, quick shout out to Dustin Jacoby, first round finish over Darren Stewart. Shout out Orangeville, Illinois, local kid. I'm the fucking kid. He's like 30. Local guy.
Central IL, stand up, baby.
Yeah, Central IL got the win. I think. He had a draw in there. I think he's on a 3 or 4 fight unbeaten streak. He had a draw in there and 2 or 3 wins. So hey,
we want John Jones, baby.
Light heavyweight. I think he fights at 205. Entertaining fighter, kickboxer. Check him out on the next card, folks.
Jan, watch out. He's coming for that ass.
He's coming for that ass. Give him a number next to that name. Anyway, we can move on from the fight. You want to talk football? Oh, we can talk some Cam if you want to talk quick.
Yeah, I had him written down.
College. Thank you. Finally, the guy stinks. I don't care.
Yeah.
The guy can't throw. I've been out on Cam. He's too injured. He's not the same guy. He can't throw. Used to be a really good quarterback. Used to be one of the best athletes at the position. Could run. Could score. Could throw a little bit better than he is now. He had a shoulder problem. He's not the same guy. He stinks. Cut him.
Also, anti-vaxxer. Did you know this?
I've heard one of the best abilities is availability.
Yeah, Bill's like, okay, fuck you, you're gone.
Yeah, he had
all these coaches should be, unless you are like Tom Brady, Derrick Henry, Aaron Donald caliber player. If you're not getting vaccinated, you're gone.
I saw Urban Meyer might get in trouble for that. He came out and said that we took it into consideration. I guess they might get sued or something. I don't know. No shit, they took it into consideration.
Jacksonville's going to be a disaster.
You should really? You think so?
Yeah, I think that's going to be an absolute circus. I don't know.
Lawrence looked really good in that last preseason game.
I don't think Lawrence is going to have a say. I think he'll probably be fine. I don't know. I think Urban, I don't know.
I'm not totally out yet, but it's on the table.
I think it's going to be a circus. I think it'll be a bit of a mess.
What our win totals, what we did our win total shows. Do you have what we picked available close?
Not really. We both picked under for Jacksonville. I know that.
I would like to see what I picked for Denver.
I think I picked over and you picked under, if I'm not mistaken. They're 7.5, I think, or 8.
Whatever I picked, I'm kind of leaning back towards an over. Bridgewater, I did
Teddy. Yeah,
I did mention Teddy and Drew Lock, and I think that defense is going to be pretty good if it's healthy. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. And they got some good offensive skill positions. I think Teddy makes it an over, but I'll stick with whatever I say.
I think they'll be right in that fringe 500 playoff team sort of area probably, which is what the number suggests. Teddy makes a big difference. I think Drew Lock stinks. So, anything else happen in the NFL? Not really. Cuts are coming up. Season's coming up soon. Not really.
You want to do 30 seconds on why the preseason sucks? J.K. Dobbins out for the year. Cam Akers out for the year. ETN out for the year.
Yeah,
It
don't
stinks.
care. Like, what did that get anybody? I don't know. It's stupid. I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to play the games because you got to know who to cut. But I think more and more we're just never going to see the starters play a single one of these games. I mean,
yeah,
like, I don't know.
They don't count.
They got 17 of them in the regular season. We can figure it out the first 2 or 3, I think. They're also.
Yeah.
I played football a lot. I know how to play football.
Yeah.
You run in the hole, don't get tackled, tackle the guys. Whatever. It's kind of
the whole deal. Yeah.
pretty simple. One thing that I didn't think about: how do they decide who gets 9 home games and who gets 8 home games now? They just flip it, just like a coin flip. I don't know.
I assume you just alternate. I guess that would be the only.
I didn't think about that
way.
till this year. Unimportant.
True. Yeah.
But I mean, that's a distinct advantage if you got an extra home game. So.
Yeah.
Weird. Something to think about.
Didn't think about that either.
Yeah, didn't think about when we were doing those totals, but yeah, I just thought of that. Weird.
The Saints have maybe 2 fewer home games due to the hurricane. Important to some. I think I like my under a little bit more. We can move on to college, though.
I don't believe in James Winston. ILL, baby. Illinois football is back.
Beal 'em a ball.
Beal 'em a ball, baby.
Without the starting quarterback, who needs him?
Oh my God, Scott Frost.
We do need
Scott Frost is so dead.
Yeah,
you're fired.
He's so screwed. Yeah, Scott, I got bad news. You're fired.
I mean, we're not good, and we housed them.
How about the quote from Scott Frost, like a few days after the game? I hope no one's lost excitement over the season after week 1. Scott.
They all did. Every single person.
We're out. What do you mean?
Coach, we got to play Ohio State. We got to play, real schools.
Well, we got to play the good teams now.
Yeah, they get to play like Oral Roberts or some shitty team like that this week. But after that, yikes.
It's not good.
Colossal yikes.
More importantly, Illinois is not. They're not good. They're not good.
No, but they seem like we're plucky.
That was a nice coach first game at home opener. Really a nice win. Good program starter. You feels good.
The defense looked shockingly, competent, which I haven't seen in, I don't know, ever.
Yeah.
So that's good.
We're doing stuff.
We were kind of getting to the quarterback. We were stuffing the run a little bit.
It was really a pleasant surprise. Yeah. Epstein, another running back. They got like 3 that they're rotating in. Looking pretty good. They got Isaiah Williams. Finally got him a position. Looking okay at receiver.
Yeah,
doing some stuff.
Certainly not a quarterback.
Former quarterback, maybe cornerback. Now we're gonna do receiver.
ATH next to his name.
The whole athlete.
Just put the guy in space. Put him somewhere where he can make some plays, baby.
Yeah. So that was nice. It was one that they needed to win if they didn't want to get out of hand, because they got some that they're not winning later. What do you make of? They're only 5.5, 6-point favorites this weekend against UTSA. Ooh.
UTSA must be good, I guess. I don't know much about the Roadrunners.
They're solid. They have a very good running back whose name slips my mind.
That number scared me. That makes me assume we're going to lose. Probably.
We'll probably lose that one. We got Nebraska. That's one we didn't think we were going to win. 7-point dogs. Brought it home. Love to see it.
Martinez, fraud.
Yikes.
He looked really bad.
Thought he was good.
I think he can run.
He can run.
It seemed like his throwing was suspect.
He cannot pass. Dear God. That's why I was like, he's dual threat. He can probably give our defense a lot of problems.
Just one threat. No dual. Only the one threat.
No, the arm is a non-threat.
Non-threatening. Non-lethal weapon.
Game just finished up here. UAB got it done. 31-0 against Jacksonville State. Shout out. Tomorrow, some pretty good games. It's a full, with no NFL this first week. It's a full slate. We can move on to the week 1. Week 0 is over. Week 1. Ohio State Minnesota's the real big game tomorrow, Thursday night, probably. Ohio State. This is one of the lines that, I mean, this just stinks to high heaven. Like, what are we doing here? I figured this would be 21 plus. Like, I just, what am I missing with Ohio State?
What's the line? What do you have it
it's
at?
14.
It's at Minnesota or at Ohio State?
Yes, at Minnesota.
It's at Minnesota. I mean, yeah, Minnesota stunk last year. No,
they were not good.
I mean, I'm not super tapped into college football as I am to the NFL. So
me too.
But I mean, but still, like, I mean, they had
Ohio State's
they had the receiver that they lost, like, won the first round this year, right?
They lost Tyler Johnson 2 years ago, and then they lost Rashad Bateman last year went to the first round of the Ravens.
And they had a quarterback that was okay, or still have a quarterback that's okay, or am I making that up?
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. They have Ibrahim is their running back, one of the better in the country, but I mean, Ohio State's front is just, I feel like it's going to be able to neutralize, and I just don't know. Ohio State's weak in the secondary, I guess. I mean, CJ Stroud this is his first game, I guess first game on the road, Big Ten game. I guess that there's something to that. I just think they just got too many dudes.
I don't know. Yeah, this screams like they're gonna beat the brakes off of them. I don't know.
I'm not gonna go near it personally. If I did, it would be Ohio State. It stinks too much for me.
Yeah, that number is fishy. I kind of want to take Ohio State, though. You know?
Yeah.
It's like if I'm watching that game and they're up by 35 points and be like, you're an idiot.
I told you.
They're obviously way better.
Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch the game, maybe get a little late first quarter, maybe halftime sprinkle if Ohio State's a little shaky out of the gate. Wicked smile. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that strat.
Could be a good middle spot.
Ooh,
maybe a little live bet and then middle it.
Yeah,
might be a good move.
Yeah, we'll see how they look. They just got superstars at receiver. I think they're just gonna kick their ass, but we'll see. I'll see how the Buckeyes look on the field. Any other Thursday games to mention?
I don't have them pulled up, so I'll let you lead the discussion on what games you want to talk about, and I'll chime in.
Well, really, there's no other Thursday games of note. Rutgers plays Temple, which is pass. Coastal is in action. They're a ranked team. They're 22nd. Bring back a lot, so Coastal should be pretty good. They're laying 35 against the Citadel. If you're interested in
the classic week 1 and 2 bet Citadel lose by 100 points bet.
Yeah,
never fails.
Friday's a little more interesting to me. Heisman hopeful Sam Howell's in action. They're at North Carolina's at Virginia Tech. They're only a 6-point favorite. Before we started recording, I looked it up. 6-point favorite, total 64.5. At Virginia Tech at night, always a bit of a upset special. They bring it. I saw that their stadium sold out. They're gonna have a big crowd for Friday night. I kind of like Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that's a big trap spot for UNC.
I think so. The obvious, Sam Howell's back, probably a top 5 pick in the draft, one of the Heisman favorites, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. They lost a lot around him, so I'm worried what they're going to fill that with. They lost Diami Brown to the draft. They lost Daz Newsome to the draft, who I think the Bears might have took. He didn't make the roster, actually. He got cut. But both of those receivers are lost to the draft. Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, the 2 running backs, lost to the draft. So their offense needs to replace a lot around him. First game, I don't know how they're going to look. Maybe Virginia Tech first half before North Carolina can get the offense going. If I had to lean there Friday night, Virginia Tech, home crowd, I would lean Virginia Tech. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that game.
What's the line? What did you say the line was?
UNC -6 when I looked at it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, betting week 1 and 2 college football is such a crapshoot. I mean,
tough.
There's no knowing. Even the most in the weeds analysts, you just don't know. because they're all 19, 20-year-old kids. There's always shit going on, and there's so much turnover year by year that it's so hard to even remotely accurately predict these games. And I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, the one thing I know is I know Sam Howell's good, and I know Sam Howell's back. So I mean, like, I'd
Sure,
lean
at
North
some point,
Carolina.
at some
Like
point, you just
all
take the best player.
these lines are fishy because even the people setting these lines, it's like it's hard to even know. I mean,
Yeah.
you can plug it into your algorithms and whatnot, but it's such a wide variance of outcomes in these games. I guess I'd lean UNC probably. I just think they're probably the better team.
Yeah. At some point, you just take the
They
best
got the
player on the
quarterback.
field. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's probably stay
In
away.
Blacksburg, though, one of the
Yeah,
hardest
tough.
places in the nation to play. Blacksburg
Definitely.
at night is rough.
Yeah, they'll be rowdy for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure where to lean there. I guess the total 64.5. I remember that. I'm pretty sure it was them last year. They scored like 130 points in their matchup last year. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. Duke Charlotte plays. Don't care. Kansas in action. Your Jayhawks maybe. Michigan State at Northwestern is the other. I don't have a total for that game. Do I have a total for that? 46. Yeah, Big Ten football, baby. Michigan State at Northwestern. Got to lean there. Northwestern -3. Give me the Cats. Michigan State stinks.
Yeah, they were very disappointing last year. I think Pat Fitzgerald's going to get the boys ready.
Yeah,
Go Cats.
go Cats, baby.
Oh,
Anything on Saturday that you're looking forward to?
I mean, obviously the big one is Georgia Clemson. That's the prize fight.
We can start there.
I guess we could start there. Yeah. I kind of like Georgia just because I feel like they have less turnover. I feel like they're bringing more guys back.
Me too.
I've been looking into some stuff. They've got some injuries on the O line, which against the team with a bunch of freaks like Clemson, not a good deal.
The line is moving towards Georgia. It was closer to 4.5 earlier, and is now down to 3. Clemson -3. It is at a neutral site in Charlotte, as is the Alabama Miami game. I guess I would lean, although it's hard to say because DJ, the quarterback of Clemson, Uiagalelei or something, I think might have just nailed that.
I think you might have crushed that.
DJ Uiagalelei, he's came in and subbed for Trevor Lawrence one game last year. They lost that game, but he looked pretty impressive. It was at Notre
he lit
Dame,
it up.
I believe.
He was not the reason they lost, for sure.
He lit him up. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like his first start as the guy, but he has had a start, played on the road against Notre Dame, looked great. So I wouldn't be worried about that. What's the quarterback for Georgia's name?
JT Daniels.
USC? JT Daniels, thank you. Another Heisman favorite. I mean, it's with all the unknown, as you said, with the turnover in these teams, although there is a lot of super seniors because of the COVID, with the turnover on these teams with loss to draft picks, I would probably just take the points, take the 3 with Georgia with a good quarterback and JT Daniels. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, the more I'm talking it out in my head, I don't know. It seems like Georgia never wins in these spots. It seems like they never do, and Clemson always does.
Yeah.
It just feels like, I don't know. It feels like it's going to be a disappointing day for Georgia, but I don't know. My brain's telling me Georgia. My heart's telling me Clemson. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably lean Clemson. I don't know. I think Georgia's kind of weak at the skill positions too, which is very unlike Georgia. Usually they've just got receivers coming out of their eyes, and now they're a little light there.
I think so. Clemson last year, I don't think Justin Ross was able to play. I think he had like a weird back injury or some like neck or spinal deal going on. I think he's cleared to play. He lit Alabama up when they won when Lawrence was a freshman. He lit them up in that game. I think he's playing for Clemson, so he'll be a big factor. Clemson has to replace obviously Lawrence, Etienne. I'll take the 3. I think they're really evenly matched. I'll take 3 points with a more experienced, at least, quarterback.
I'll lean Clemson, I think, but
yeah, you're right. Kirby Smart just always seems to come up short in these spots. Feels bad. Any other game that You have your, and I wrote down some others. We could talk. We could do Bama, Miami.
Yeah, that's
Bama's,
the other big one.
they're playing at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, in the Dome. Bama's a 19-point favorite against Miami. Miami seems steep. I can't remember any quarterbacks' names right now. What's
Derek King?
Running quarterback. He got injured last year, right?
But yeah, he missed a little bit of time, I think.
He
Did
will
he?
be leading.
I don't know.
He had a knee injury, I believe. I'm not sure when it was, at what point last year, but he'll be leading Miami, Bama, replacing, like they usually do, pretty much everyone. Jalen Waddle got drafted. Devonta Smith got drafted, the Heisman Trophy winner. Najee Harris. The typical, just.
I bet they'll be
reload.
pretty good still this year.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
Probably just reload. I think Bryce Young, isn't he going to be leading the charge at quarterback? Another guy. Yeah, I mean, 19 seems steep though. It
does seem like a lot of points, especially with a team that's. I mean, Miami too had a few guys lost in the draft and stuff, but I mean they've got, I don't know, top 5 Heisman candidate playing quarterback for them also. But Alabama's just, I mean, they're such a Death Star of a team that is just like,
yeah.
Obviously, they're not who they were last year. I mean, last year it was, you could have given me any amount of points against any team. Towards the end of the year last year, I was at the point I didn't care, didn't even look at it. No matter how many points you give me, I'm going to bet Alabama, no matter what. Alabama minus 58.5. Don't care. Bet it. They're gonna murder everybody. And
if we didn't just see the Joe Burrow LSU team, we would talk more high. We would talk higher about that Bama team last year as an all-time team. I think they come up short as far as like flash and stats and thanks to that previous 2019 LSU team, but I think they're sneaky one of the better teams we've seen in a long time.
Especially if Waddle hadn't got hurt. Imagine.
Right, he wasn't even a factor. He played
got hurt
a couple
first
games.
Game of the season or second game of the season, something like
that. And then kind of he limped around in a couple of the playoff games. Yeah, just a absolute juggernaut. I mean, 19 just seems so many, but it's
another team that always thinks they're back and loses in these spots is the Miami Hurricanes. I can close my eyes and I can see it now. Derek King's got like turf in his face mask. And what's the coach's name? Manny something or
Manny Diaz? Is that his name?
Manny Diaz just got his hands on his knees, just like shaking his head. And freaking Brad Nessler's like, and that'll make it 42-10 Crimson Tide.
Yeah,
going into the half.
Some 5-star defensive end is in the end zone holding the ball.
Yeah,
after the strip sack. Yeah,
I can't
stay away.
Good faith bet Miami and feel good about it. I might bet Alabama, but I can't with good conscience bet on Miami.
Speaking of people that think they're back, Texas plays Louisiana Lafayette. They're laying 8.5. Can I interest you in that?
Yeah, I don't know who Louisiana Lafayette has. I know they were pretty good last year, and I know Texas is a giant fraud organization. So
they're solid. They lost their running back. Elijah Mitchell got drafted by the 49ers, made the team. Regis, I don't know where he ended up. I don't even know if he got drafted. But Levi Lewis is their quarterback, who has been there a long time. He's been there 4 or 5 years. Solid quarterback. They got a lot of guys back on both sides of the ball.
Give me Lafayette, baby.
I kind of like the points here. Give me Lafayette.
Give me they're the Raging Cajuns, right?
Yes.
Give me the fucking Raging Cajuns, baby.
I can too.
I like that.
I kind of like it too.
I feel like there was another ranked matchup. Is there a third one? Or am I imagining that?
Indiana, Iowa.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. I mean, it'll be
17 against 18, maybe upper teens matchup.
Yeah,
in Iowa. Total again, Big Ten football. 45 points is the total. Iowa is a 3-point favorite. I actually kind of really like Iowa. Like I can close my eyes and envision what Iowa is with no names. Like I just know what they're going to be. I know the football they're going to play under Ferenz. I just at that stadium, I think Indiana is a fraud. They won some really close games. They got some lucky bounces last year. I'm not a huge Penix guy. I like Iowa -3. Let's do it. I'm going to win like 26-13.
Okay.
Thoughts? I was the stadium that they wave, right?
Yes.
Wave to the children in the hospital. Let's get the kids a win.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Indiana was pretty good last year. I mean, they got dangerously close to beating Ohio State. That was nothing.
Frauds.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm
okay.
not. They won some, or especially early on. That I remember there was I can't remember Penn State. I think they beat early on. There was a really close play diving for the pylon that they reviewed and held up, and they barely won that game. There was some other. I just wasn't real impressed. I don't know. I'm also just completely firing from the hip here, so just quick takes. A game I actually do really like that I will be betting is UCLA against LSU. Do you have any leans on that game? LSU's a 3-point favorite at UCLA.
They're a how many point favorite?
LSU's a 3-point favorite at UCLA.
3? I thought you said 30. I was like, what the fuck?
No. LSU was awful last year. They have Max Johnson there. He's going to be their quarterback. UCLA has a game under their belt already. Not sure how this hurricane is affecting prep for LSU. Could be a factor. I think Chip Kelly's a good coach. I think Ed Orgeron maybe is not one of the best coaches of all time, like maybe people thought he was. Dorian Thompson-Robinson I like for UCLA, their quarterback. He can run, can throw a little bit too. Chip Kelly in his, I think, third year. I think they were super young when he first got there. I think all these kids been in the system. I thought they looked good. They just won their first game. LSU was a dumpster fire last year. I think UCLA on the field winners. Thoughts? Chip Kelly, you get some chip in you.
See, here's the thing. Like, I mean,
you're not a Kelly guy.
You say that about Coach O. Like, I don't feel any better about Chip Kelly. It's not like he's Chip Kelly's Nick Saban.
Oregon, come on.
And they lost.
Yeah,
they lost twice in the championship game. I guess that's more than Coach O did, but I mean, Coach O actually won one, so he's got that going. But
I think it was. Yeah, I think that was strongly a product of the system that was created by a genius assistant coach and a incredible roster, like an all-time roster when we look back on it.
Yeah, a lot of good NFL players on that team. Like 01 Miami-esque,
like
offensive unit. Well, we'll see how those guys all pan out in the NFL. Looks like, for the most part, probably pretty good. But
Justin Jefferson, sick.
1 for 1 there, confirmed good.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed with UCLA whenever they played last weekend. Who they play? Hawaii? Is that right?
They did, yeah. Yep.
I don't know. They dominated them because, they were just obviously way, way, way more talented. But I don't know. I don't know if they got the dudes. Regardless who LSU has, rule of thumb, SEC dudes are a different type of animal than Pac-12 talent is.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think I just lean LSU just based on the talent. I think UCLA is kind of a darling and kind of a super hyped up team amongst people that are sort of dug in on what's going on right now. But I don't know. I'll lean LSU, I think.
Yeah, those are fair points. Yeah, if you think just dudes against dudes, they count the stars. LSU's probably got more 4 and 5 star dudes. 30 there's one thing Ed Orgeron can do, it seems to be recruit. We'll see. The quarterback Max Johnson we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm on UCLA, and yeah, I mentioned the hurricane affecting prep. I don't know if that's a factor or not, but I don't know. Maybe something. I don't know where they're going to be before the game, or how they're getting there, or when they're getting there. Something to think about for a lot of these games. I think someone mentioned the Clemson game might be dealing with some weather. That's outdoors. That's I think in Charlotte. The whole coast is kind of getting a ton of rain right now. Any other games you want to talk about?
Not really that I can think of.
And remember, kids, totally just firing from the hip here on these college games, week 1.
Yeah.
Completely firing from the hip.
We have no idea. Honestly, nobody has any idea. We're just guessing. We're basically just picking uniforms, picking guys that were good last year. I have no idea what's going on. Wes has no idea what's going on. We're just going to, waste a bunch of money and have a bunch of fun this weekend, though.
Correct. I'm going to be on the golf course and drafting the fantasy football team during all these games. So I'll probably be checking my phone occasionally, checking the scores. So I'm not going to be real dug into these. Let's pick your playoff and pick your winner to kick off college. Let's have some takes.
Here's the thing. Here's the reason.
Make the playoff.
Let me say what I'm going to say. Let me give you my prediction, and let me give you my case that we need more teams in the playoff. Because I think is going to happen is we're going to get boring ass shit, and we're going to get Ohio State, Oklahoma, Clemson, Alabama, and we're going to be like, "Oh, fuck's sake! How many times have we seen these 4 teams here?" I mean, that just seems. I don't know what the betting favorite is. I would imagine that's probably the betting favorite outcome for the Final Four. Maybe Georgia.
Georgia is in there as well. I would imagine
Alabama has better odds though. And Oklahoma, I know, has like really high. They're supposed to be, in theory, one of the better teams.
I can look real quick. I believe Bama is the favorite, and then Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's. I've been told by a lot of people that seem to know what they're talking about that Oklahoma's actually going to play defense this year. I'll believe it when I see it.
Alabama is a very short favorite. They're 3-1. Clemson is 3.5-1. Ohio State is 4.5-1. Oklahoma is 6-1, and Georgia is 7-1. And those 5 teams. After that, there's no one shorter than 40-1 to win the championship.
Really? See,
so yeah, I think Bama doesn't make hot take.
Georgia?
Yeah.
So no Pac-12 team for you either?
No chance.
No.
I don't know who
I see a lot of people saying Oregon trying to be edgy. No shot.
They would get boat raced by all 5 of those teams. No chance.
Like the only scenario, I guess, is if Oklahoma loses to like Iowa State, and then if like Oklahoma State loses once in the regular season and lose to Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game, and Iowa State has like 2 losses going into that, maybe. Then they would just put in the 2 SEC teams. And then maybe on top of that, Georgia has like 3 losses randomly for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go with Ohio State as the.
Oh, I didn't seed mine. Let me seed mine real quick. I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bama, Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson.
You said Alabama twice.
Bama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Clemson. Sorry.
Okay, there you go. I am going to go with Ohio State as the 1 seed. Let's see here. No. Oh man, it's such a tough schedule. I'll go. Yeah, Ohio State is the 1 seed. Georgia is the 2 seed. Clemson is the 3, and Oklahoma is the 4. I guess Alabama doesn't make it. There we go. And then Ohio State beats Oklahoma, and Georgia beats Clemson, and then Georgia beats Ohio State in the championship. I'll take Georgia as my champion.
Wow.
JT, Heisman Trophy, national champ.
I'll go Oklahoma over Bama for the title. Spencer Rattler.
Don't hate it. Do hate him. I'm not a fan of him. I don't like your face, Spencer. Don't like your face.
Yeah. He's got a punchable face. He looks like he's a douche.
A dick.
But
he's a dick. He is. He's not. He doesn't look like a douche. He is a douche. If there's
you gotta have some
videos,
of that to be a great QB, dude.
There's videos of him in that what's that 11 or whatever quarterback camp of him
All
being
American or something. Yeah.
Total dick. Yeah, I hate that kid as much as I could hate a 20-year-old superstar quarterback. Whatever.
Not jealous.
Not a fan. Dude, I don't even want to be him. It's not even like that.
Yeah, dude, it's not even like that, dude. It's really not.
Dude, I could throw a pigskin like that. I would have. I didn't hurt my knee in junior year.
Yeah, Bishop Sycamore's newest starting fullback, Wes Buelig. He's gonna put a hand on the ground and clear a path for somebody.
If I didn't blow out my knee junior year, we'd have took state.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have.
State. Oh yeah, would
you? Yeah. All
right.
I caught a few JV touchdowns in my day. Bishop McLemore or Bishop Sycamore, Bishop
whatever they are.
Whatever. Hit my line.
Call me.
You need a red zone threat. I'm your guy.
Yeah, I scored some pretty sick JV touchdowns back in the day.
Animal.
Yeah.
All right.
Good times. We'll catch you next time. We're going to do a weekly NFL show. I'm not sure when we're going to drop it. We'll probably record it. We've been saying Monday and Friday we're going to release these, but I don't know how Monday will work for the NFL show. I'd like to have a little more time to digest the news and the lines, really get in the weeds. So I don't know when we'll do that. Maybe record Monday or Tuesday and release it maybe Wednesday. I don't know what we'll do for that. But for sure, a weekly NFL show talking the week prior and looking at the lines for Thursday and the weekend games, and then another for sure 2 a week.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do 2 a week. We're trying to figure out our scheduling at this point. Once Wes is back in the shy, we'll be able to consistently figure something out. Just to myself and to you, this is our first time doing this over Zoom. So if this is a total disaster and I don't know it yet that it's going to be a total disaster, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going to try and figure it out, but I don't know if what we're doing right now is going to work, and we didn't test it at all. So I'm sorry. Thank you for help. Thank you for you, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I hope this isn't a total train wreck. Pre-recording, it was. We were trying to figure it out.
I don't know if I figured it out. We just kind of started. So
yeah.
All right.
Hopefully not many of these. And hey, dude, comment, subscribe. Share it with a friend.
Comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Shout out to both our dads who I know are watching out there. Two of our guaranteed fans. 20, 25 viewers a week right there.
Yeah.
So
the real
that's all
ones.
we got. Thoughts and Friends podcast. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.